Hey, and welcome to my yearly income review where I share with you how much money I made as a designer last year. And this year, did I actually reach my goal to make $300,000 as a designer? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to another yearly income report. This is the third one I'm doing, so you can click here or check the description to see the previous years if you want to see some growth trajectories or if you want to see how I was doing on previous year. And this year is pretty exciting. I want to jump right into it because I want you want to hear the number. I know you want to hear the number. So let's talk about the number and then we'll kind of backtrack into how this all happened. So in total, when 2018 was over, I have earned $351,835, which is an increase of 74% over last year when I made $200,000. So honestly, I was thinking that I could cross or kind of reach the 300K goal, but I actually surpassed it pretty nicely, and I'm super happy about this. So now that you know the number, now that you know that I have reached the goal, which I set to myself at the kind of beginning of 2018, let's talk about, first of all, I want to share, like, if you don't know me, I want to share about how I'm doing this. This might come off like my wife hates that I'm doing this because she don't like me talking about money. And I want to talk about why I'm doing this, to explain that this is not about bragging. I think this is sharing and being transparent about how much money you're earning. I think has like transformational impact on other people, that are somewhere else along their journey as designers. I know that for me, a lot of times, understanding how my peers are doing and seeing what is actually possible actually broke down a lot of limiting beliefs for me, that I thought that designers only make this and this, or that designers can only charge this and this. And seeing that other people are further along the line actually made me understand that it's possible. And so one of the reasons that I'm doing this 3 years in a row now is that I want to be transparent and show you that it is possible. This is not like, for me, this is not like the sky. I'm still going to try to, grow as a designer. But if you're somewhere else along your journey and you're still, earning less money, I just want to make sure that you know that this is totally possible. This is got nothing to do with a lot of like the situation, the market, the economy. I'm based in Tel Aviv, Israel, so I'm not like in a kind of like a fancy, country where design is super valued, like, London or the Netherlands or New York or San Francisco. And this is still possible. So this is the context of why I'm doing this. Now, for those of you who don't know me, let's talk about what I do to earn money. So basically, I am a freelance designer and I help startups with a variety of things as a designer, which I call full stack design. So I help them from everything from branding to building their website to doing product design. So I kind of dabble in everything design. This year I did also a lot of design sprints and workshops for clients. So this is the client work aspect of my work. Now, over the last 5 years, actually, I've also started 2 businesses, New School and Prospero, and that has taken like somewhere between 2 to 3 days per week. So almost half of my time went into building those projects. It was an investment. One of them, Prospero, we actually sold at the end of 2018. And if you've watched my video, there's a video about why I sold it. I'll also touch upon this here. When you'll see the finance, you'll understand that it didn't make sense to keep investing half of my time into this when honestly, it was not generating money. So if you see like how the pie is split and you think, oh my God, Ron almost spent like half of the time on something that didn't make money at all. Imagine like what I could have been making if I would spend all my time on the things that are actually profitable for my business. So I was working on those 2 projects. And then at the end of and I'm doing this YouTube channel. Obviously, I do have a sponsor for it. Webflow are my sponsors of my YouTube channel. So I also generate revenue from the YouTube channel. And besides that, at the end of last year, at the I think end of August, I've also launched an online course teaching people how to use Webflow. And that has been immensely successful, much more than I've actually anticipated. And I think that's what really helped me cross, my goal and earn more money than I actually expected. But I have to say that this was a bet. So somewhere around the middle of the year, around the third quarter of the year, when I've decided that I want to bet on trying to make this online course work, I've actually took the risk of not taking on client work where I had, really good client opportunities where I could take projects and charge a lot of money for them. I actually said no to them. I've actually did not make money for a couple of months while I was building this course, and then launched it at the end of the year. At the last quarter of the year, I launched it, and it was a risk that paid off because it made so much money that I was actually earning more than if I would actually take on those clients. So this is a risk that I did. So also when considering kind of how profitable my consulting or freelancing side of my business was, you have to remember that for a few months there, I did not take on project because I wanted to invest in building a new asset or a new business, which is my online training business. So I think it's very maybe curious for you to see how the pie is split. So here's how it basically worked. So more than half of my income came from doing client work. And as I said previously, I'm working with startup companies at a kind of seed or round A stage. That means that they have raised money and they have a budget to work with me. As you can see, the course, even though it was launched at the last quarter of the year, generated substantial revenue, almost not quite half of the income, but it did generate a lot of revenue. My YouTube is actually stayed fixed because I didn't raise my sponsors rate, or I didn't change anything, so it was just fixed. And as you can see, Prospero and the New School together are actually the tiniest, slimmest income here, and that is actually after we even sold Prospero. So you can see that spending 2 days a week on working on this, we did see it as an investment, but at that point I realized that this is really, really not profitable, and I should move away from that so that I can focus on both my freelance consulting business and working on my course and my training business. And so that was one of the reasons why we sold Prospero, so that I can really focus on growing my business. Now, overall, this was a great year financially. I don't know if you've been following this YouTube channel, but honestly, last year started off not so good. At the beginning of the year, I realized I actually found out that I have a big debt to the tax agencies here in Israel, because my past accountant 2 years ago made a mistake and did not pay enough tax. So I actually started this year, last year, 2018, with a huge debt. And so that was kind of one of my motivators to trying to make more money this year. I did not want to have to go into more debt, or didn't want to use our savings, our life savings and pensions to pay off this debt. And I wanted to kind of maintain the lifestyle that we had, even though we did have to cut back on some things. So it was a tough year. Apart from that, I live in Tel Aviv, which I don't know if you know, but it is a super, super expensive city. And I live in a good neighborhood, and I have 2 small kids who are in private kindergartens. So that cost a lot of money. And that actually brings me into the last part of this income report, which is how much money I actually saved up in 2018. It's actually 0. And that is, in a sense, I feel bad about this, but as you understand, this year was super, super intense for me, for us as a family in terms of economics. We had to pay off the debt. We had to, pay for 2 private kindergartens. And on top of that, I also came to a realization. So I learned a lot about business this year. I started working with a business coach, and that was super, super helpful. And I've actually realized that it's not that I have zero money left in my business. It's just that I understood that previously I would save up, put that money into savings, so for maybe pension or buying a house, and invest that in, the regular stuff like stock market, bonds, that type of investment saving. And I realized that my best investment at the moment is to invest in my business, because as you've seen, my business grew, like in terms of revenue, it grew 70% that year. There's not many stocks or investment that I can make with my money that are going to grow in 70% this year. And so the decision that I've made was to stop doing like the savings that I used to do before, and really take all the money that I have left in my business, which I did have money left in my business, and invest it in trying to grow it. So right now, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to invest in Facebook ads to try to grow my training business. And I took on this office so that I can, be more productive. I used to work from home, which ended up being not so productive. When my kids come back from the kindergarten, it was really hard to work. And so I rented this office. I invested in buying new gear because I realized how much of my income came from actually being content producer, apart from being like a freelance designer. And so I'm making investment that I hope will pay off. And this is kind of like what I'm doing with my money right now. I'm investing it into building a big business. And this year, as part of my strategy, I'm actually hoping to surpass the $1 million mark, which I know it might sound like even more ambitious than last year's goal, but this is where I'm aiming right now. And I feel like the way to do that is to really, again, look at what's super profitable in my business. And right now, that's the online training and courses. So I'm probably going to change the shift from doing mainly client work into mainly working on online education. I don't know, I have, struggles with that as kind of somebody who self-identifies as designer. Does that mean that I'm not a designer anymore? I'm going to keep still working with select number of clients, which I love. Might take some clients just to share the process with you on this YouTube channel. But I guess I'm moving into a different type of business right now. So probably maybe this is the last income review as a designer, because probably next year, this is not going to be an income report of a designer. It's going to be an income report of, business owners who also do design, but also do many other things. So this is it. Basically, I have to say I'm super, super happy and grateful to be in that situation. There's a lot of people who helped me make this happen. From obviously my wife, who supports me and also started helping in my business this year, doing the finance for me and helped me with a lot of the administration of running the business, to my business coach, which is a huge support for me, to my friends and family and everybody that's been supporting me. So yeah, I'm super, super grateful for that and really excited for the upcoming year. Hope you are going to stay and watch the channel. I'm producing excellent content for designers, showing you my processes, the tools that I use, and what I learn every day working as a designer. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you next time.